What is good, bro? In this video, I'm gonna be sharing with you the 3 lessons I've learned from training martial arts. So I trained martial arts pretty much my entire life on and off. I did a lot as a kid. I was big into wrestling during like my middle school times. I also mixed in some boxing and just traditional martial arts. And then it wasn't up until recently that I took on doing kickboxing. I was doing private sessions one-on-one with a coach. I did this 2 weeks for about 4 or 5 months, and I learned a lot of things, especially now because we were doing a lot of sparring. And yeah, you do sparring kind of in wrestling. That's like it's kind of a different approach where you're not actually like hitting each other. But I was doing like kickboxing sparring, which is a little bit different. And I learned a lot from that. So I'll share with you the 3 lessons I learned from doing this recently. And the first one's gonna be that you have so much untapped potential and your mind is 100% holding you back. Whatever you think that you can't do, you 100% can do. So during this time, I was doing 2 kickboxing sessions per week, these one-on-one sessions for about an hour, as well as 2 full body workouts. And during that time, my RDL increased 60 plus pounds just because I realized how much further I could push myself. See, the thing is, when you're doing this sparring, after an entire session of training, we were doing mitt work, bag work, footwork, constant movement. And this was in Florida when the heat was like 80, 90 degrees. And we were just in this hot gym, just training nonstop. It was constant cardio. And then you start fighting at the end of the workout when you're already gassed. You can only imagine how much that opens up your eyes in terms of, in that sparring session, you can't quit. It's not like you can just stop your workout and take a break from those reps you're hitting like if you were in the gym, doing some bench press. No, you have to keep moving. You have to move your head. You have to move your feet. You have to fight back and try and, win that fight. So me and my coach, we would do sparring and he wouldn't go easy on me. And if, say, I was kind of like bitching out because I was so gassed, he would just kind of hit me light, but he would still like put a little bit of force behind it. But still, he was just showing me that, you have to, push through that pain, and that cardio pain is intense, especially when you're getting hit. But it opened my eyes up so much to how much potential we all have that is being left on the table. So that's going to be the first one, is that you're probably leaving so much on the table that you could be doing, and your mind is just holding you back. You have so much more in you than you could ever imagine. So that's the first lesson. The second lesson is going to be you should always avoid a fight unless it's absolutely necessary. Like your life depends on getting out of this situation, so you need to fight your way out and then kind of like bolt from there. So doing this sparring, we were doing this pretty much every single session. And I actually did have kind of like a long-term mini concussion from it because we were fighting pretty hard and it probably wasn't the best. But there was a lot of times when, for example, I got kicked in the head. He had shin guards on and it wasn't even that hard of a kick, but it just hit right perfectly like right on the dome, and it just connected and I accidentally leaned into it a bit and I almost was knocked out from that. I had like the spins and my legs wobbled a bit, and he stopped because he's a good trainer, but I almost got knocked out from a kick that wasn't even that hard. So you can only imagine if you're in like a street fight where someone ends up clobbering on you, you never know who your opponent is. You could be going up against some like McGregor, Khabib type fighter who's just an absolute killer and could really do some damage to you, and vice versa. I fought in some guys after those 4 or 5 months, mixed in some different sparring partners who were more beginners, and I was really beating on them. So, you don't want to also be really hurting somebody, or the fact that you could really get hurt yourself. So unless it's absolutely necessary, always avoid a fight. There's no winner in a fight, as they say in Roadhouse. No one wins a fight. The third lesson that you're going to learn from fighting is that fighting is a very unique experience, and it'll teach you more about yourself than you can ever imagine. So I'm someone who meditates every single day for 10 minutes, but there's never been a time in my life that I felt more present, more focused than when I was truly, hitting those mitts, doing the combos, or sparring especially. I mean, you have to be completely focused. And this is just going to teach you so many things, besides just that present, that awareness, and that kind of meditative side to things. And it's just going to open your mind up to so many new things that you haven't experienced. If you struggle with meditation, right, and that whole side of things, and you get into you start doing martial arts, you start hitting the mitts, especially sparring. When you get punched in the face, you focus real quick. I mean, now you're not focused on anything else besides what is going on in the present moment. It's a really great way to open your mind up to new things. I mean, just beyond like the lessons I taught you in terms of you can push yourself so much further than imagined, that you really shouldn't want to be getting into a fight because you'll realize how much damage a fight can actually do to you or your opponent. There's so many things that's just going to open your mind up which you never have experienced before, and I think it's something that every man should 100% experience, even if it was just for like a 6-month period where you did some personal sessions or you just came to a gym, did a couple sparrings, but really learned a lot about the foundations and just built that basis for yourself so that you're in a decent spot to be able to protect yourself and your future family if something ever did go down. And it's just a really fun thing to do as well. I mean, that was one of the most enjoyable things. It was a bit of a hard period in my life during those 5 or 6 months I was training. And it was probably the most enjoyable thing I could do was at the end of the day, going to that gym, really improving my skills of fighting and then also sparring and just getting a lot of that pent up energy and tension out in a very healthy way. So that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really encourage you to take that step, sign up for a boxing gym, a wrestling, whatever it is you want to do. It really doesn't matter, but just go ahead and give it a try, at least for like 3 to 6 months. And I promise you it will change your life and open your eyes to so many new things. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.